Are there any TV channels in the country that don't have adverts? Lorraine? No, they are all commercial channels and show adverts all day long. Too many, really. And there's also a lot of product placement going on, especially in soap operas, where they place an item just behind the actors. Do you enjoy watching adverts on TV? No, not really. I hate commercial breaks during a film. It really spoils the flow. And during primetime viewing, they seem to squeeze even more ads in than usual. Celebrity endorsement also get on my nerves. Everyone knows they're only doing it because they're getting paid. What are the best ways for ordinary people to advertise something they want to sell in your country? The simplest way is to place an advert in something like the classified ads section of the local paper. Or there's the internet, of course. There are lots of sites like eBay where you can buy and sell things online. Part two. Part two starts out. Describe an advert you once saw that was very effective. You should say where this advert appeared, when you saw it, what it was advertising, and say what you thought it was so effective. Okay, well, this is about 4 years ago. I was looking for some software to create videos. One day, I got an email from a mailing list I'd signed up to. There was a link in it to a press release. Her company had written something about a new product that was similar to what I was looking for. At the end of the press release, there was a link to the seller's page. I hadn't heard of the company, but I was interested and clicked on the link to the ad. What caught my attention immediately were the number of testimonials from people who had bought software. I think the testimonials are like the online equivalent of word of mouth advertising and are really persuasive. Anyway, when I got to the bottom of the page, there was a great big call to action button inviting me to buy. I was totally persuaded and ended up making a purchase. What made it so effective, I think, was the power of those testimonials. They've been written by people very much like me. They had a need, and the software had obviously turned out to be just what they're looking for. When you think that this was the newish company, they wouldn't have had a brand awareness at all. They probably wouldn't have had much of the budget for advertising. Obviously, you wouldn't advertise a product like this through the mass media on TV. They probably didn't even have the advertising agency to support them, and yet they managed to create a deal of brand loyalty from previous customers. I think that was really effective. Style three, part three, style question. What is it that makes an advert effective? Well, when a company launches a product, they have to consider the internet, especially how it can be used to spread the word of social media. So, in the context, a video that goes viral is probably the most effective type of advert you could make. What are the advantages to companies for advertising on the internet rather than TV? I'd imagine the main advantage is you can reach your target audience much more effectively if you bring out a niche product, for example, or you have a tight advertising budget. You can advertise for particular sites that the people you want to reach visit. That's not something you can do on TV. What things do advertising companies do that might give it a bad name? For me, the most irritating is cold calling. We must get two or three of this every day at work. Then there's junk mail that gets posted through the letterbox. And of course, the online equivalent of this, spam emails. I think it's it's this kind of advertising that tends to annoy people. So